Undead Unluck. This is Undead Unluck chapter 95. Skip it. Last we left off, Fuko just got bodied by this new character who we assumed was God, but I guess we're wrong.
We're wrong.
Yeah, we're wrong. Hey, we admit it when we're wrong.
I thought that was God.
Yeah, I mean, you can't blame us. We thought it was God. Who else would it be? Who's this guy? So, anyway, they're just like, oh my God, the wound is too deep. We don't have time to return to the base. And Andy immediately goes after Fuko, but he gets stopped by this new character who's like, you're even more destructive than I thought you'd be. And he stabs him with a bunch of stuff.
Blood needles?
Shrapnel? Who knows, man? All the negators come to Andy's defense. I think like the blood is swirling around him. I don't know. Like, in that one panel where they're all like creep up behind?
Yeah, and he's like got his hand through his chest. He's like grinding the inside of him. I don't know. That's crazy.
Yeah.
NJC doesn't even hesitate to chop off both of their heads.
Hey.
That does not get old. I'm sorry.
It doesn't.
Andy looks back like, what if he negated my power? You don't know this nigga.
You don't know what he does. And
but that, I guess she's been doing it for centuries, so it's a hard habit to kick.
Yeah. So they're just like, don't you see it's useless? And like, this is a cool little moment where both of their their decapitated heads are like yin-yanging, kind of a cool panel there.
Yeah. As
it lands on the ground and he seems to disappear into the shadows. And it turns out that his negation is Unruined. And he mentions before he goes that I'm unruined, mortal. You'll see none of you negators unloved by God will be able to ruin my dreams. And I'm like, what? Bro, who are you?
Right.
Yo, mind your business, bro.
Loved by God and us.
What?
Like, you don't know that. You met him?
Yeah. I don't know. If he's like a direct subordinate of God, then that makes sense, I guess. But
of a Christian Judeo God?
Yeah, the Christian Judeo God, indeed. I mean, who else could do such a thing?
I was going to say the thoughts to the end of Undead Unluck, but I thought of this right on the spot now, so I'm just going to say it. So, I think Unruined, I don't know if it's a direct relationship between him and God, but just the ability himself, right? Like, it falls flat because he's unruined. And God, I was trying to imply is that he believes that God loves him the most because his ability ruins things, and that's what God does in this manga. Ruin every fucking thing, I guess.
Yeah.
From the protagonist perspective, But no, he's unruined, so I don't know how it really applies.
Yeah.
He can't be ruined. What does that mean?
We'll find out, I guess.
Way more overpowered than undead. How you get your quirk? No. Your unskill? Your negator skill? How you get your negator skill outclassed? I would be so salty.
Yeah.
I'm like, so you can add and more?
Yeah.
Man.
I guess if he's like unruining things, then I guess getting your head cut off would be like ruining your life. So he negates that by not ruining his life by getting his head decapitated.
Yeah, just healing. So vague.
Yeah, it's very vague. Well, we will find out, obviously.
We will. It's really interesting, though.
Yeah, at this point, everybody's just crowded around Fuko trying to do their best, and it's not looking good. There's
intense.
Yeah, so they're trying to figure out. Andy gives himself makes himself into an IV to transfer blood into Fuko, keep her alive, and they're just like, Mui goes over to Fang, and Shen is like, what about Fang's time controlling artifact? He's like, no, it won't work.
Yeah. So we spend the next few pages debunking whatever you thought might be able to work.
It won't.
You make it the show. You know it's absolutely clear
that there's no other option. So, okay, so here's what happens. Juiz,
I appreciate it.
Hey, I appreciate it too.
So you got to do the work sometimes, you know?
Hey, yeah. Juiz, I guess, brings up another option, which is the quest reward. And what she means by that is the reward that they gain from defeating and capturing the seasons. This whole 4 seasons arc has led to this, that they're supposed to get a UMA after this, which is a rule added to the world. So, they're like, okay, so this is a certain rule that she's experienced in a previous loop. When that rule takes place, the rules of death will change. So,
whoa.
So basically, there's no time to go into detail right now. In this world, a living being's physical body ceasing to function is their death. But with this new rule, we can maybe circumvent that. So, they're like, then Andy's like, well, what are we going to do? Like, that rule gets added in January 1st. So we don't have that till then. And then, Juiz is like, well, we'll just have to skip time. And then she looks up to the moon and is like, Luna, let's make a deal. I'll transfer all my points over to these two. In exchange, send them both a week ahead to the day of the quest results. And the moon is like, okay. The next page is a big table of them on the moon, with an ethereal lady drinking tea on the other side. The table is a union table, like they have down on Earth. And she says, "Good luck. May the graces of the moon be on thee both." And she teleports Andy and Fuko to the future, to January 1st, 2021. And they're like, whoa, they actually made it here. Awesome. And then they make it just in time for Apocalypse to announce the addition of the new UMA, Ghost. And that's where the chapter ends. So let's throw it over to thoughts. Josh, what do you think?
Do you remember this moon person?
No.
Do you remember talking to the moon? Do you know what those points mean? All those points from the quest?
No. Oh. I don't remember anything to do with the moon. I could be wrong. I mean, please write in. If you do, our memories suck. But I don't recall really anything of the moon.
So bad that I forgot to look it up when I meant to. But yeah, I don't. This all came out of nowhere. I'm willing to think that, okay, she had points from the quest, right? Fine, whatever. And the moon person, she maybe knew from before, and that's how she's able to get Apocalypse and learn about everything in the first place. The moon person kind of seems like a singularity in basically in a way that, like, as many times as the world's like rebooted, she's probably just always been there, and obviously Juiz has been looping as well as aware. Obviously Andy isn't aware because only Victor. Yeah. So I don't know what the deal is with that, but this is super interesting. So they're introducing a Uma, and by introducing a Uma, it adds a rule, and now that rule is that if you die, you don't die.
Well, the rule is that once the world as it was before this was technically your death. Your death comes with the complete ceasing of your bodily functions. The UMA being added is ghost. The concept of ghosts. Fuko's about to become a ghost. It adds like a spirituality element to this whole thing where you can become a spirit. The idea of a spirit.
Whoa. Wait, weren't there already? Oh.
No.
What about the zombie dude, man?
What zombie dude? Andy? He's not a ghost.
Huh? What is he?
He's a zombie. That's different from a ghost. Implies that like there's an ethereal existence within your body.
Zombie's a physical thing.
You just don't die. The idea of Andy is that he just doesn't die in the first place to ever become a ghost.
Suspension of disbelief.
Do you not understand what I mean?
No, I do understand what you mean. I do feel like it's a little contradictory.
What do you mean?
You know, it's not contradictory because if a zombie, all right, it's not about his spirit. It's that he died, but was brought back but his body was revived somehow. But now he's in corpse form. He's a living corpse. He's a reanimated corpse that has all his memories and feelings.
No, they call him a zombie because he's undead, but he's not dead. He never dies. He never ever dies.
And?
He never dies in the first place because he has a healing factor. That's what undead is. Undead is like a.
I'm not talking about undead. I'm talking about Shen.
Shen? Oh, Shen is a zombie. I thought you were talking about. I thought you were talking about Andy. You said Andy.
I've been talking about this whole fucking time. No, man, Shen. He died. That's what I was saying. It's kind of weird. So his spirit wasn't involved in that situation, but I guess not. I thought that was a spiritual situation from Japanese folklore.
It would be Chinese because Shen is Chinese.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a good point, to be honest. I thought you were talking about Andy.
I'm willing to get hung up over, though. It really don't make no difference. I think it's still super duper interesting. It's a kind of like out of the box way to
I guess
let her die, but still have her kind of dead.
Well, here's the thing. I guess the power system in Undead Unluck is very much based in semantics. So it really does depend on whether you conceive of ghosts as different from souls. So I don't know. I'm not about to get into all that because that's a lot of pontificating. Those are
my thoughts, though.
Yeah. I have some thoughts.
Okay.
Well, I guess it's not going to end. We're sorry for suggesting so, but we've been reading Shonen Jump since we were very young, so we know the writing's on the wall when series feel like they're pushing towards something. And you know what?
Especially kind of been the case for a few months.
Yeah.
And every now and every now and then. Yeah.
So we don't want it to end ever. Honestly, we love Undead Unluck. We just kind of feel it. And if we are going into a new arc, I'm welcoming it with open arms. I can't wait. I don't know what the fuck Unruined's deal is. But yeah, I don't know. I guess that's how I interpret it, and that's how it makes sense for me. The whole ghost scenario is if however you feel, ghosts and souls kind of mix up. It kind of makes sense, but I'm not sure if I buy that. Which is such a good point that I didn't even think about. Is wasn't Shen by proxy of being a zombie?
But that was a real specific situation and they did mention it. They said, "Oh, we can't do that with Fuko because she has to be conscious." So obviously, it was something separate than the idea of a ghost. That's a spirit. However, they're going to interpret it in the next chapter.
Yeah, I mean, definitely they're going to explain it. Undead Unluck is particularly very forward with its rules and whatnot. So we'll definitely know what the deal is as the series progresses. But yeah, I mean, if Undead Unluck is here to stay, again, so happy that it is. I can't wait to see what the deal with Unruined is and this whole Ghost UMA. It's been a while since they've been around the round table. So very glad about that. The moon thing is interesting, and I genuinely don't remember anything about Luna. So that might be explained, I'm sure, down the line. I do like.
Who the fuck, Una?
I will say that I appreciate that this isn't necessarily an ass pull, because the idea of the UMA Ghost has been in play from right when they started this quest already, because they had to have been part of the plan. It was all by design, so that's really cool. It doesn't feel like a convenient way to get Fuko back. It's a really cool mechanism, foreshadowing.
I like